Okay, I'm all ready.
Alrighty, let's go.
Okay, so last time was a bit of a different one. We had a 3-player party, and they were just sort of wandering around Waterdeep. And this is what they discovered for your benefit, Law. The High Radiance Athosar said that the dawn would be swallowed and darkness is coming. Zavargo helped repair the Arrowhead Inn. McGarvin gave the party a bag of 50 gold, some food, and a map of the Black Jungle, which was drawn by Reginald Featherington. Captain Maud has accepted the party on board the Dwarven Delight and has agreed to take Hilda's mystery cargo along with him. The party were attacked by Thurn's thugs in the streets of the Dock Ward in the southern part, and the party are currently heading back to the Spires as the rest of Waterdeep are preparing for the second day of the festivities, which is the Ocean Bounty Festival. And I don't believe you did divide the bag of 50 gold. Someone's just carrying a bag of 50 gold.
I think Rob is carrying it. Oh, well, Arma is carrying it.
The map. Armor has the map. I don't think. Where did we get a bag of 50 gold from?
Oh no, we didn't get the bag of 50 gold because we never looted the main guy. He ran away.
No, that was McGarvin. McGarvin met you in the Arrowhead Inn.
Oh, right. He gave us. Yeah,
Oh.
true. Why did I not write any of that down?
That's
Yeah, I missed that too.
mark of a good GM. Keeping notes for the party. That bag could have just been sat there. Hank now has a bag of 50 gold.
Oh, hang on. Yeah. Russell gave us some items. There's a gold, 50 gold estimate. A map of the jungle, 4 small parcels.
Yeah.
Which Zavargo ate straight away.
Yes.
Yes. Unashamedly.
I'm surprised he didn't eat yours, to be honest, Lo.
Well, it wasn't his.
Oh, he has morals.
I guess. I guess I have the small parcel for lore.
Yeah, I remember you saying you picked that up for her, so I assumed you also picked up the 50 gold pieces, but I don't think we divided it.
No, we didn't divide it. No. Yeah, I assumed that Tarbon would have it then.
Okay, so only about 2 hours or so have passed since you woke up since this morning. The crack of dawn, where you saw Arma praying alongside the other monks and paladins and clerics of the Lothander Order. Law hasn't been seen since. You've got no idea where she is, unless she mysteriously pops up now.
Hello.
Oh, hey. Have you really just popped up now, or are we just doing it for the love? Okay, so we may as well start from there then. You're in the middle of the high road, walking up towards the market and back to the spires.
Yeah, we were doing something. We were heading back for something.
We were heading back to the Spire in order to help the monks prepare for the Ocean Bounty Festival because Captain Mode is not leaving until the morning.
And then there was some discussion about if we had double booked ourselves for the next day.
Well, the monks just said we needed to help prepare for the festival that would be happening the next day in order for us to stay at the temple.
It was also, I guess, thanks for the previous night, but I guess we could prepare today still, and then we'll leave in the morning with Captain Mode.
Yep.
Right. So Laura's just basically diving out of one of the alleys then?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I
Oh,
was here the
hello.
whole time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Where have you been? Did you get your whatever you were doing? Did you get it done?
No. Not really. It's not important.
So there is nothing left for you that you need to accomplish?
Not here, no.
Very well. We're going to be setting sail in the morning on Captain Mode's ship. And today we just need to make a few preparations for the festival, and then we'll be ready to go.
I guess
So
we head
let's
off
go
to
back
the
to-
spires.
Okay, so you're walking through the streets. You're going up High Road. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, and you notice that the shop owners are starting to prepare for the day. They're actually sort of like putting a shop outside of their shops type of thing to be part of the festival that's going to happen, because this is a festival that happens in the streets. It's a festival that's for the people of the streets, and so the shop owners take it as a great opportunity to entice people in. And in fact, people certainly from the northwest of Faerun and the Sword Coast come to Waterdeep. You know, it's a great tourist thing. The street's going to be full of activity, full of life, and certainly for someone like Law, you would know that this is a great opportunity for pickpockets or thieves to operate as well. It's just, there's so much energy and buzz happening around the city right now.
Am I right in assuming Law would tell us this, or is this some kind of a thieves-only secret?
I mean, it's general knowledge, you know. If you've been in a city, you know how thieves would operate, and unless you're like totally, you've lived a sheltered life type of thing.
All right,
Who would be that?
I'll just be like, this is good pickings. Mm.
In that case, I'll keep an extra eye out for pickpockets, and I'll hand Laura her parcel.
Yay!
Also, what's his name? MacGuffin?
McGarvin?
McGarvin, yes. McGarvin gave us these 50 gold pieces. Should we divide them, or should I keep them for safekeeping? Everybody seems to not have any opinion.
If it's for the road, I don't need to hold on to mine. I trust you more with it, otherwise I'd gamble mine away.
Very well. I shall hold on to it for now, and if we need something for the group, then we can take it from this.
Sounds good.
So as you make your way through the high road and through the little side streets to cutting through to put the travel time down, you walk past the market. And the market's like the central part of the castle ward, where every day of the week there's a market going on. People are trying to sell things. People are basically, if you've been to a market, you know what a market is, right?
Mm.
Today's a little bit different. The market is packed. There are people who are paying for like a premium place within the market, and sort of like not the governor, but he's in charge of the market. This is like a big payday for him, and he's just taken loads of money. He's organizing people into where they should be within the market, and he's getting excited. And you can see that there's different stalls here than you well, certainly Zavargo would have noticed during his time within Waterdeep. There are stalls from outside of Waterdeep. There are very exotic curioso stores. There's your stores from different parts of the ward that have uprooted and came here just for today, because this is where a lot of people are going to be coming, and it's actually like where the high road is. This is the end of where the festival will be this evening, so it's going to get a lot of traffic in here. And there's already people starting to have a little look around. So like early bird people having a little look around at the different stalls, and the different stall owners are prepping up for the rest of the day. And And certainly for Zavargo, there's starting to be like a spicy aroma in the air as people are starting to cook food, and this food will be cooked throughout the day. Okay, so you carry on to the spires.
Yeah. I think we're feeling too indebted to the monastery to just go ramble through the market instead of going back to help.
Oh, fair enough. So you approach the spires, and you can see the white walls. They're as clean as they were yesterday. They just seem to get cleaner and cleaner every time you see them. And you can also see that there's a lot of traffic heading towards the Field of Triumph, which is the arena within Waterdeep. There's sort of like an early morning arena fight going on. But as you reach the spires, you notice one of the monks that you met this morning. He gives you a greeting and he opens the door.
Thank you, brother. So walk inside.
I give a slight bow as well. Pass.
Zavargo just pushes past.
He gives you a nod anyway.
I'm just gonna wink at him.
He gives you a nod as well. Okay, so compared to this morning, where the garden was just full of people praying towards the east, towards the sunrise, it's a little bit more relaxed. It's a bit more empty, and there's people just going about their general business. There's people gardening, people cutting the grass, people pruning plants. Some people are cleaning the walls again. I mean, these walls used to be pink marble, but they've suffered a lot of damage over the years, and all they've been able to do is just rebuild them in pure white marble, which is a little bit less impressive, but still it reflects the light, certainly in the morning and the sunrise. What would you like to do?
I guess we find the one we talked to yesterday. Who was it? I don't think we talked to. Did we talk to the head, Adamaros Pegasus? Is that who we talked to?
Yeah, you can go and talk to him. You'll find him
Well,
in.
or whoever we agreed to help.
Adamaros Pegasus?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, that's yesterday. Well, this morning, a couple of hours ago, when I woke up in the empty room and you were outside doing yoga, that's who you talked to afterward.
Cool.
Yeah, I missed all that. So.
I'll walk around we'll walk around and try to find him and see what needs to be done.
Okay, so you ask a few monks where he would be. Some don't reply. They've taken a vow of silence, and you respect that. Others are happy to help you, and they direct you towards the Morning Lord's not private chamber. I mean, he's always got an open door policy, but it would be a private chamber any other time of the, part of the business. And you see this open door, and the stonework is still pink marble. It's the old pink marble that used to be on the outside of the building as well. This is still intact. It hasn't suffered any battle damage. It hasn't worn away, and it's this sort of arc that goes into a peak at the top, and right at the top, it's sort of like encrusted in gold. Is a sun rising as if it was the dawn. You can see that the Morning Lord is sat behind his desk, and he's got some books sprawled across his desk, and he lifts his head up from what looked to be like an intense study, and he welcomes you in. Yes, brothers, come in.
I walk in and I give him a deep bow and just say, "Good morning, Father. Dawn be with you."
Dawn be with you.
I follow the bow as well.
Well, since we stayed here last night and we agreed to help with preparations for the great festival tomorrow, and we are wondering how we may assist the temple.
Well, tomorrow we will have the blessing of the seas. It is a great event where all the religions, all the faiths of Faerun come together, and they bless all the sailors as they depart. I would be looking for you to assist with that.
Right, yeah.
Well, we are planning to depart at dawn with on a ship on my pilgrimage. I feel it would be good for us to have your blessing. And is there anything else we may assist with instead of being there?
He's still sitting behind his desk, and he's
Yeah.
sort of tapping his lips with his index finger as if he's really mulling something over in his mind. Yes, there is perhaps one more thing. And he reaches under his desk, and when he reappears, he's holding a small box. It's, if you can imagine, like an A3 piece of paper, that kind of size box.
Right.
It looks quite old, and it's a wooden box. The hinges look old on it. The wood's worn on it as well, and whatever engravings were originally in the wood have long since rubbed away. But you can tell there used to be engravings or carvings on the wood. And he puts this wooden box on the table, and it sounds quite heavy, even though it's quite small and thin. And he goes,
Alright.
"Brother," and he's looking at you, Armor. "I would
Yes,
like you
Father.
to take this with you.
Because it's whatever you're comfortable.
What the High Radiance said this morning has had me worried. But there is one condition. You cannot open this box until you believe it is the darkest times."
What is it?
He lets out like a sort of like not a resigned sigh, but like a troubled sigh, as if even speaking what it could be is sort of tempting fate.
He's much better.
This box contains he's like really reluctant to mention what it could be, especially in front of three people who not necessarily don't believe in the faith, but certainly don't follow it. It contains a sash of Lathander himself.
Wow. And it will help us in fending off the darkness that seems to be coming?
I will be honest with you, brother. I don't know.
Well, how will I know when to open it? How will I know when is the perfect time?
He just breathes through his nose as if trying to regain composure. Lathander will guide you. It is not for me to tell you when to open it. Just as it's not for me to tell the sun when to rise, or when the sun to set.
Yeah, we got that on Friday.
But Lathander,
Yeah, it is.
Lathander will know. And you will know too.
Yeah, massive.
Thank you, Father.
He just gently
But we got one that's
pushes the box
sweet,
towards you.
you put
And
it in,
he's finding it hard to let his
like
gaze
straight
go from it. I mean, this is like
and
a huge thing. He's
facing backwards.
going to let this sash of Lathander, which he's only looked at a few times, he's only touched a few times. He's going to let it go out of his sight and go with someone he's just met. But he's getting this feeling from you, Armor, that you've travelled all the way from the Morning Star.
360 degrees.
No, not Morning Star.
Evening
Star.
Um,
Evening Star.
So we'll put it
And
sideways and then
for you to
we can
take a
see
pilgrimage
what's
at such a young age, because I mean you're only in your 30s or 40s, aren't you?
Yeah, mid-30s.
For you to take this pilgrimage at such a young age is shown like a great commitment to the Order of Lathander, and he's just getting this feeling that Lathander's speaking to him, that you can be trusted with this. Maybe as your arrival coincided with the High Radiance's outburst this morning. Maybe there was a reason that the High Radiance came out of his quarters. Maybe you were that reason. Maybe it's all linked. Maybe it isn't. But he's he's taken that, not a gamble, he's taken the faith in you that you could use this.
I pick up the box and just hold it with both hands and study it and just run my hands over it and
Hmm.
kind of close my eyes for a little bit.
Do you need a minute?
Do an
Yes,
Arcana
Wha-
check for me, please.
While he's looking at it, I'm also gonna, since I'm probably standing somewhat near his side, I'm also gonna have a look at it. I specifically want to know if it looks worn by water or worn by air or worn by fingers.
Do a perception check. I'll get back to you in that Arcana check. Tarbin, you notice that the wood is
I told her it's just. I'm gonna buy another one.
isn't wood you
They don't need that.
typically see
You know, it's just like,
in this part of Faerun. In fact, this wood looks like wood that you would see further south, from where you're from, near Calamport. This is the wood of palm trees, and even the trees that fight to survive in the harsh southern realms of Faerun, where there's little water, lots of sun, harsh sandy winds. So you find that a little bit odd that this box is perhaps made out of that wood, when Lathander isn't such a great, doesn't have such a great following down where you are in Kalamashar. But you also notice that this wood is old, and it's naturally worn by nearly all the elements: wind, rain, just general handling, and age.
All right, but it's still fairly equally worn around all of the sides except for probably the bottom. And I'm assuming that there aren't particular spots that are extra worn because of how people handle it.
Well, near the latch, the wood near the latch is sort of, just from general wear and tear, started to sort of wear in like an indent from where fingers have been opening and closing and over the years. And how Armor's holding it now, with two hands on the sides and these fingers or four fingers holding underneath, that seems to be how everyone just naturally holds it. So the wood around the sides isn't a sharp 90-degree angle anymore. It's sort of just weathered and worn into a small curve, where sort of like a natural hand groove, which encourages people to hold it like that every time, which is just adding to the wear and tear. Armor, you as you hold it, you don't feel any like divine spirit speaking to you. All you can feel is that this is just like a normal wooden box, but there is a slight feeling of maybe it's just you yourself, that there is a great expectation within this box.
I just close my eyes and hold it for a few minutes and just say to the rest of them, can you just give me a minute so I can...
Yes, of course.
Pray.
I give the Morning Lord a deep bow, then go out the door.
I'm gonna walk outside to the kind of towards the back area of the temple and find a place to sit down and just kind of meditate while holding the box.
Would Darba know anything about the legend of the Sash of Lathander?
I'll do a history check if you want.
Oh no! Come on!
Wow.
Oh man!
First natural one of the day. No,
Alright.
As blunt as that. Everything you think you know about Lathander is almost insultingly wrong. Outside of knowing he's like the Dawn Lord, like, you know, the god of the dawn, anything you say about Lathander is very likely going to upset any of the monks from now on.
I'm in an effort to further my knowledge. I was gonna do this anyway, but I guess it fits better now. While he's meditating, I'm gonna excuse myself from Zavargo and Lore's company, and I'm gonna look up some people of the faith, specifically paladins, and go ask them about Lathander without making too much, without trying not to say much, just more find out, learn more about their stuff.
Okay, so you start walking around the grounds of the spires, and almost a little rudely, you start interrupting people as they go about their business, so eager to learn more about Lathander. And a few times you mispronounce his name. You call him Lathander and Lysander, and it wasn't just like once, it's twice or three times within a conversation, and people are starting to like really doing their best not to have eye twitches and facial tics to get annoyed at this. And there's one paladin in particular who is summoning every ounce of wisdom and calmness within him to not throw you out of the spires. It's Dawnmaster Jam Silverkin, who you met this morning at breakfast. And he's just looking at you, and he's like, "Stranger,
Yes.
we have an open door policy for those who come with brothers, but I'm very close to closing the door."
Oh, my sincerest apologies. I did not mean to be insulting.
At first, I was pleasantly surprised that someone would come and ask me about Lathander. And he like stresses the word Lathander. Lathander. But I can't tell if you're curious or just trying to wind me up now.
I assure you, I am genuinely curious.
What is it you wish to know?
Just a bit more about what you paladins do and how you do it.
Well, we are sort of the lawful side of the Order. Not that there's any unlawful side of the Order of Lathander. It is our job to keep the peace. And, if needs be, enforce the peace of Lathander against anyone who brings harm to members of the Order. And his eyes are like locked into yours now. He's not threatening you like exactly and directly, but you get the sense that those words were meant as a little warning.
Yes, no, I'm showing, what's it called? I'm basically I keep giving him slight bows as just a sign of respect.
You only need to bow once.
Yeah, but
You look like... Have you ever seen a dancing cockatiel?
I have many times. This is the way of our people. We dance like cockatiel.
You can see that he's like biting his tongue right now. He can't tell if you're a jester, if you're just trying to rile him up, if you're trying to test his patience, and he mutters something under his breath. Lathander, give me light. And you can see that his right hand is sort of, his knuckles are getting white as he's gripping on the handle of his warhammer.
I'll leave him be then, and make my apologies and get back to the group.
Okay, so you make your way back to the group, and you see that Dawnmaster Silverkin is sort of just... He's on his knees now, praying, as if he was close to breaking. Never has anyone tested his resolve and lawful goodness as much as you just did there with your questions.
Unintentional. I guess we just silently in awkwardness wait around for Arma to finish his meditation.
I just take about 30 minutes and then I walk back towards the front and find the rest. And I put the box in the very bottom of my backpack, wrapped up in an old robe.
Okay. I do apologize. I should have done a religion check there. I forgot all about that one. But it's still the same thing.
Yeah, I could have had a 4 instead of that 2. What the hell?
Or did you mean for my history thing?
Yeah, I meant for your history.
Oh.
But no, Armor. You can
that's
do
why,
you can do a religion check. With advantage.
Oh, thank God.
That's a natural 20 then.
Oh yeah. Your meditation. You got advantage because you are a member of the Order of Lathander. During your 30-minute meditation, as you hold this box, you start to get visions, and you can see. You don't think, you know. You can see Lathander standing there in his armor, which has the dawn symbol on his breastplate, and you can see that there is a white sash going around his waist, tied over his right hip, with 2 trails of cloth coming down, and at the bottom of these 2 tails, if you imagine like a martial artist's belt, are the sunrise on both of them. So the sun rising, imperfectly embroidered in, and for a brief moment you feel like Lathander's gaze has turned and is looking at you. So it's like this movie playing in your head, but he's turned and looked directly at you, as if breaking the fourth wall with the camera, if that makes sense. And he says to you, "Keep the darkness at bay. Always believe in the dawn. Brother Armor, the Order needs you more than you know." And the vision sort of fades away. But you now believe exactly what this sash looks like.
Alright, in that case, instead of going back to find the group, I go to try and talk to the High Radiance, see if I can talk to him about what I've seen, since he also had a vision.
Okay. So you make your way through the spies towards where the High Radiance's chambers are, and these are great chambers. And in fact, these chambers, now that you've seen them and you compared them with the Dawn Lord's chambers, these are actually the chambers of the whole spires. This is where the Dawn Lord himself should be, but he has so much respect for the High Radiance, he's let the High Radiance stay, if you like, in the King's Keep of the Manor. Sorry, the Morning Lord, not the Dawn Lord. Outside of his door is the other Dawn Master that was with him with the High Radiance this morning. And you know that is the human cleric Rekben Galantara, who was accompanying, if you remember not yesterday, if you remember this morning at breakfast, there was 2 clerics that accompanied the High Radiance to breakfast.
Yep.
This is the other one. The other one was outside, and he's regaining his composure after speaking to Armor. And this other cleric's just standing there in a sort of like a very statuesque but relaxed, composed, calm manner, with his staff held in both hands, propped in front of him. And without opening his eyes, he just says, "Greetings, Brother Armor."
Greetings, Brother Rekben. Dawn be with you.
The dawn be with you.
I would like to speak with the High Radiance if he will have me. I believe I've had a vision of Lathander, and I would like his advice and insight.
He opens his eyes slowly and looks up to you. The High Radiance is still asleep after this morning's exertion.
Very well. Do you know if when he will wake up?
He shakes his head. I'm afraid I do not know. Some days the High Radiant sleeps many hours. Some weeks he sleeps many days. Some weeks he doesn't sleep at all.
Very well. If he wakes up before dawn tomorrow, would you send for me? I would very much like to speak with him before I depart in the morning.
He gives you a nod. Of course, brother. And you can see that his eyes are starting to sort of like look at the box that you're holding, and he lets out a little smile. Carry the dawn with you, brother. Keep the darkness at bay.
I kind of smile back and say, "Thank you. Hopefully I am worthy of this task." And I just bow to him and walk away.
He gives a little nod in return.
And now I go find the rest.
Okay, you quickly regroup with the rest of the party who are still in the gardens.
I've been giving magic pebbles to Zavargo, see what it does with them.
Zavargo's just fiddling with them as normal, trying not to throw them at monks.
Strength check, please.
Uh-oh.
Naturally.
Wisdom saving throw?
Ow.
And a dexterity check.
How do I not have dexterity as a shortcut yet?
So you're trying to crush this pebble with all your might in between your index claw and thumb claw, and it's not crushing. This is a pebble. You've crushed pebbles before with great force, and you're using nearly all of your strength to crush this pebble, and it is not giving in. It is resisting every bit of pressure you put onto it, and you're like, I can imagine you're snarling and you're so I don't know if you want to RP that you can, but the more pressure you put on, the more force you're starting to put onto this near perfectly like egg-shaped pebble, and it flies out of your grist, your pinch. And it flies out with so much force. And
We're gonna break a wall now.
yeah.
It sets the temple on
It
fire.
flies and it lodges into the side of the white marble wall that goes around the outside of the spires.
Impressive.
Shut up! I didn't mean to. Give me another one.
I give him another one.
Perception check?
From who? Zavargo?
No, everyone.
Oh, everyone?
I don't know if I'm back with them, but there it is.
By the way, if it does damage to anything, it's 1d6 plus my spell casting modifier, so plus 4.
What was that, 1d6?
1d6 plus 4.
So yeah, it's lodged into the wall, and the area around where it's went into the wall, it's sort of like a small crater as well. It's a deep impact. It hasn't smashed through the wall, it's just in the wall. Zavargo, you noticed that a few of the... well, there's a lot of eyes on you right now.
Of course, there always are.
People have noticed this pebble fly into the wall. They're not too sure where it's come from, but they're putting two and two together because you've got one in your hand now, and you sort I don't know what you're doing with it, but you've got another pebble in your hand.
Watch, Tarbin. I'll bet you 2 gold pieces I can break this one.
You're on.
Same again, strength and dexterity check. Oh my god.
Tarba's gonna take a few steps back when he starts crushing.
So, just like before, you've got your index and your thumb claw. Dragons call them fingers still? Yeah, why not? Fingers. And you'll scream. If you want to roleplay it, go ahead.
God, the stupid devil! Ugh!
So yeah, you're trying to destroy this pebble with just your index finger and your thumb, and you know you're using more strength than you were before, and you can feel your arms sort of like going numb because you're forcing all this power through into your fingers, and normally veins wouldn't stick up on in your arm because your scales are quite thick, but veins are starting to stick up in your arm, and you're gritting your teeth, and you've got one eye closed, and there's almost like a small boiling of flame in the back of your throat because you're like, oh, this is gonna break. And it goes, flies out of your fingers right towards where the last pebble went, and lodges right next to it, making an almost identical crater.
Watching that, the next thing Zavargo would see would be Tarban's hand next to his. I believe that would be 2 gold pieces.
You know what? Take your stupid 2 gold, stupid pebbles, and you kind of kick in the dirt, and he goes and leans against the wall and waits.
You need to leave now. Dawnmaster Jam Silverkin has appeared, and he speaks from behind Zavargo, and he's got his warhammer on the floor. Both hands are resting on top of the pommel.
We came there to help, and
You come in as guests, and you dare throw pebbles, not at, but into the very walls that gave you a place to sleep.
our apologies. It was.
I don't want to hear another word from you.
I'm gonna try to guide Zavargo out of there before he
Look,
burns the place
if you're
down.
looking for some kind of apology from me, at least it was in the wall and not in your stupid head. And he storms off.
Fair enough.
I guess we see Arma at this point, or?
Yeah,
It-
I'm walking out of the building, and I kind of see this commotion as it's happening, and Zavargo walking off. And I'll just walk up to Don Master Jam and say, "Brother, what happened here? Has there been an issue?"
Your friends have desecrated the walls of the spire. And he motions over to the 2 pebbles lodged into the wall.
I look over at them and just shake my head and just turn back to Jam and say, my apologies, brother. I'm sure it was not of ill intent that they did this. It was most likely an accident.
Once is an accident. Twice is vandalism. And this one, he pointed armor.
Tarban, I guess.
Sorry, yeah, Tarbin. He points at Tarbin. And this one, you should teach him about the order before the order teaches him some manners.
Yes, brother. I'm sure I will have plenty of time the next month to talk to both of them about manners and how to act in a holy place. And I just say, we will. I thank you very much for letting us stay here last night, and for wishing us luck and praying for us on our journey. And if we come back, hopefully we will be able to come back and discuss with you and have a place to stay. But for now, I wish you good day, and may the dawn be with you.
May the dawn be with you too, brother. And you can see he's looking at the box that you're holding, and you get the feeling he knows what it is as well. And his reaction's a little bit different to what Rekben was. He doesn't seem as pleased that you have that box compared to Rekben. And sorry, are you leaving, or yeah, you're leaving now?
Yeah, and then I'll just motion to Laura and Tarbin and say, "Come, let us go back into the city." And I'll walk out the gate.
As you are leaving, you can see that there's 2 like monk initiates that are trying to get the pebbles out of the wall, and they just can't. They are using both hands. One monk has 2 feet against the wall, and he's like trying to push with his feet while 2 hands are on the pebble. These pebbles are just pebbles, and they just can't unlodge them from the wall.
How
Yes.
big are these pebbles?
Palm size, if that.
Yeah, they're tiny pebbles, but they, at the point of launching, they were magical.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember the exact details of the magic pebble, but yeah, they're magic pebbles, and they've been shot at the wall with 22 strength.
Cool.
Okay, so where would you like to go next?
Let's see.
At this point, it's around about 9 o'clock in the morning.
Would you guys like to walk around the market and take a look at the wares and other interesting things that may be for sale and for show there? Seemed like an interesting place when we passed by earlier.
Sure.
Of course. Zavargo?
I'm fine with the market, but this evening, there's supposed to be a pretty good fight at the arena. I don't want to miss it.
Very well.
Are you fighting?
Nothing stopping me from potentially squeezing in the fight, but no, I'm not on the roster, if that's what you're asking.
Okay.
Almost on cue, you hear like this horn as it's signaling the first fight of the morning at the arena, and you can hear that there's a big cheer from the crowd. But I guess for Zavargo, there's almost like a conflict going on. He can hear the cheer from the arena, but he can also smell the food drifting in from the market.
You guys are lucky that in the mornings they don't have the good fights. They get to that later on. It's just stupid walking around. Grumble, grumble.
Tarba's gonna apologize to him. I'm sorry if we caused some kind of trouble at the spire.
I'm sure it'll all be let go in time, but for now, we shouldn't be there.
And it was certainly not my intention to irritate the paladins. I was simply inquiring of your faith.
I understand, but Brother Jam can be a little more, how should I say, sensitive, I guess is the word about the faith, and sometimes he may not treat those outsiders as well as he should.
Very well. Thank you for your understanding.
Of course. Now, let's go to the market.
Okay, so you make your way down Calamaster Lane towards the market, and the aroma of the foods is getting stronger and stronger. It's there's loads of different foods getting cooked in here right at this moment. Some are breakfast foods, some are just exotic foods from around Faerun, but all the smells are mixing together. So there's like the smell of meat mixing with spices, mixing with fish, and it just gets stronger and stronger as you get towards the market. And you notice that the foot traffic is more than it was an hour ago. People are awake. They're going about what their normal business would be. They're going about what their daily business would be, but they're also going about what their festival business would be. You can see that there are people who are speaking excitingly to each other as they walk through. They're talking about their plans of what they're going to make for the parade later on, what float they're going to make, and you can hear that people are discussing who's going to be making the best float or yeah, but we'll call it a float, the best float for the parade later on. And there seems to be like a tradition that's happened over the years where the noble houses sort of try and compete against each other to make the best floats, and that's like a big thing in itself. But a lot of people are actually more interested in what the dock ward do, because they make sort of like rowdier floats, almost parody floats if you like, of famous people from around Faerun, not just alive now but throughout history as well. Okay, so you make your way to the market?
Yeah.
Okay, you are at the market, and you can see that the guy who was there earlier conducting where everyone should be, he is standing right in the middle. He's still conducting where everyone should be. The market itself is full. There's stalls up. There's that sizzling smell of food cooking. There's the crackling of fires, and there's the way that the light's coming in, because it's still coming in at like a sharp angle because it's the spring morning. Things are like glistening and reflecting the light, and it just looks like this magical overload for the senses right now.
Where do you want to go first? No, nobody has any idea what they want to do at the market.
It's overwhelming. Yeah, this is a really busy place right now. It's like, whoa, okay, there's too much. There's almost there's almost too much to see. Where would you go? Do a perception check. Okay, so Armor, Torben, and Law, your eyes have spotted some very interesting things. You can see that around the outside of the market, there seems to be, you don't know if they're homeless or beggars, but there's people on the streets almost panhandling. Within the market, you see that there are stalls that are selling weapons, armor, fishing rods, trinkets. You suspect maybe potentially magic items. And you see that in the far corner of the market, there is one stall where no one else has made a stall next to it. So this stall is just out there by itself, and it doesn't have much attention at the moment. But there's a small halfling. Like, for a halfling, he's a small. He could potentially be like a gnome. He's that kind of small. And he's standing on this 6-foot barrel. And he looks really proud of himself, like a ringmaster. He's got a scraggly ginger beard, but just like a half, like Abe Lincoln type of beard. And he's got this really worn out top hat that's sort of flopping. It's that worn out. It's not standing up straight anymore. It's flopping to the side. The top lid bit's been ripped and flapping up. And he's got like these moon-shaped glasses on as well. And he's got this little cane, and he's tapping the cane on the barrel. And he's going, "Later on today, I promise you will see the greatest beasts of Faerun at my stall." And he's pointing at all these cages that are covered with tarp and cloth. And on the cloth there's got like an emblem of, and it says "We Jerry's Magical Beasties" on it.
How large are the cages? I mean, how large do they appear beneath the tarps?
There's like several different cages, and they're all different sizes. There's some that are
The largest one.
The largest one is large. Like, using your knowledge of beasts, it could
Alright.
fit a large beast in there. Zavargo, on the other hand, all you notice directly in front of you is a hog that is slowly being turned and roasted. It's got an apple in its mouth. It still looks a bit raw, but that's all you can notice.
Well, if we're going to spend time at the market, I'll catch up with you guys in a bit. And he rushes off to start ordering food at different stalls, including, first, this giant pig.
I guess I walk over towards the gnome at his stall.
Halfling.
I'm sorry, they all look alike to me.
That's
I've not
racist.
had much dealings with these folk.
I'm just kind of gonna walk around and observe and kind of keep my head down now that I know there's a bounty out for me.
When Armor rushes off to the gnomeling, I'm just gonna tell him that I will be with you shortly, and then I'm gonna take a round around the market, see what type of stalls there are where, and keep an extra eye out for a stall that would sell books.
Okay, so Armor and Law, you're heading over to Wee Jerry's Magical Beasties, and Tarbin, you're looking out for a bookstore. Tarbin, as you're walking around, you overhear one traveller talking to another, and you hear that he says he's from the north, and he's travelled down by road today to be here, but you hear that he mentions that there's a Roman orc war tribe terrorizing those travelling from the north. And there's other, it's just passing gossip from one man to another. There's plenty of that happening around at the moment. Roll a perception check for me, please, Tob.
Sure.
Okay, so you spend 10 minutes or so walking around. You notice there's different stalls. There's stalls that just are local hobby stores where people have tried to whittle in little figurines of what they're claiming to be famous adventurers, but they don't look very impressive. There's someone trying to sell swords. There's someone that's trying to sell a collection of famous sails from... I mentioned that people collect them.
Mm.
So there's people who are like trying to sell their own renditions of the sails from when the ships come in. And after several minutes, you finally find that there is a stall selling books. It looks rather unspectacular. It's he's the man behind it is a young man. He's not trying to make any big and bold claims about the books he's selling. He's just standing there prepping for the day. It looks almost as if he's not really ready for business yet, but he's just putting the books out, making sure things are ready.
All right. I just want to check something about the rumor. You said there was a group of roaming A roaming orc warband terrorizing those from the north, but was that outside the city or inside the city?
Oh, outside the city. This man's travelled from outside the city.
Right.
He's travelled from the
somewhere
north.
towards the north. There is a roaming orc warband terrorizing people.
Yeah, that's the rumor
Right.
going around from this man.
Just making sure I got it straight.
That's all right.
Could I look amongst the book? Could I look for something that would contain folklore from any given region, really?
Yeah, sure. Perception. Okay, so you start to gently look through the books, and the man doesn't pay much attention. You know, he occasionally looks at you to make sure you're not palming books into whatever bags and pockets and hidden coat pockets you might have. But he generally he's setting up the stall. And as you look through the books, you can see that there's books that look old, books that look new, books that don't even look like books. It's like, if you like thin slices of woods that have got carving on, and some are telling stories, some are telling recipes, how to cook, how to make things, and eventually you find a folklore book. And it's a strange looking one, because on the cover it's got a mix of dwarven runes and elven runes on it, and also common. And the common title of this book is A Collection of Fabulous Folklore Fables. You can't tell who it's written by, though.
I just quickly browse through the pages just to make sure that there is text and or pictures on each of the pages and not just the cover.
Okay, so as you flick through the pages, there's about 50 or so pages in this book. It's not a big book by any means, but it continues what the cover had, where there's a dwarven, elven, and common text on it. Roll a insight check.
Sure. Or investigation, I guess, or is this insight is for people, I take it?
Yeah, you're right. Investigation.
Not bad. That's my second best roll for today, actually.
And what languages are you proficient in?
I am proficient in common and undercommon.
Okay. So as you're looking through, and you can tell that, like, perhaps the elven, the dwarven, and the common, right? And perhaps it's telling the same story, perhaps it isn't, but there's something that suggests you need to find a way to tell if the three texts are telling the same thing. There's just something in your mind.
I'm gonna ask the vendor there. Pardon, this book seems to be written in 3 languages. Are they? Is it just a direct translation, or do the different parts tell different stories?
Okay, so the young man looks up. He's in his early 20s. He's got jet black hair. His face is fresh. It looks like he's never done an honest day's work in his life. He just peddles books. He looks at you and he goes, "Don't know, mate. I just sell the books."
Thank you. You have been most helpful. And how much for the book?
For that one, Fabulous Fables. No, sorry, Fabulous Folklore Fables. He like mulls it over in his mind as if just trying to make up a price. He's looking at you, looking at the book. He's trying to gauge how much money you might have, and he just goes, 7 gold.
I will happily pay you 5.
Oh, we playing this game, are we? And he looks really, really delighted with himself. 6 gold.
I will happily pay you 5 gold for this book.
Really, really, really. 7 gold.
My friend, I don't think you believe. I don't think I believe you know how this works.
Are you questioning, mate? Are you questioning me, mate?
No, by all means. Thank you for your service, and I put the book back.
Wait.
No, I'm sorry.
Come back. We're not over yet. We're not done yet. This is what we call burgering. Is that right? Burgering? I don't know. No, bartering. I say one price, you say another price. We play a little game.
Okay.
7 gold.
5 gold.
Okay, and he's sort of like bouncing around on his feet. This is like, it's sort of like a volley in tennis for him. He's like, oh yes. So, all right, 5 gold. Okay, all right, okay, okay. 5.5 gold.
4 gold.
What? All right, mate. Okay, I see what you're doing, mate. I see what you're doing here, mate. I see what you're doing. Do a persuasion check.
Sure.
5 gold.
5 gold. Very well. I take out 5 gold and I hand it to him.
He looks well pleased with himself. He's like, I got you up from 4 gold. And he takes the 5 gold, and he just lets you take the book. He doesn't wrap it up or anything. He just lets you take it.
Yep. All right. I'll look at the pretty pictures and start walking back towards Arma.
Okay. The pictures are a little bit different as well. Actually, I should have mentioned that. You can tell that some pictures have been drawn by dwarves, and you can tell that some pictures have been drawn by elves, and you can tell that some have been drawn by humans. There's definitely 3 distinctive different art styles going on. The dwarf pictures are very brash, very thick lines, as if they've held the quill with their whole fist instead of a little pinch. The elven drawings are very smooth, as if they're not even holding the quill. It's just like very feathery brush strokes going on, and the common pictures are somewhere in between.
Interesting. I mean, do they depict something that I know from before?
History check. A few of them look familiar, but you're not too sure. It could be the artist's interpretation of the folklore fables, but it's possible that there's some familiar. But a bit like the text, they're not 3 identical drawings. Some of them are a little bit like Spot the Difference, where it looks like there's 3 the same, but you've noticed that there are small differences in each one. And some of the pages just have 1 drawing done by 1 artist, whereas other pages have a totally different drawing, not even related, done by another one, if that makes sense.
Sure. Okay. But yeah, I stole the book and for a later purpose, and walk back to Arma.
Okay, so Armor and Law, you're over at Wee Jimmy's Magical Beasties store in the, let's say, the top left-hand corner of the market. It won't make any sense, but just for orientation purposes. And there are several different cages covered, all different sizes. Some of them are making noises, or noises are coming from the cages. Some of them are quiet, and Wee Jimmy is looking at you, and he's went into ringmaster mode. He's like, step up, come on, step up.
I'll walk right up to him. Say, hello there. How are you doing today?
He just goes straight into spiel. He doesn't like directly answer your question. I am Wee Jimmy, and these are my magical beasties. You are the early birds, so you get the worm. And he throws a collection of worms at you. This is just what he does. Boom.
I look at him like, ugh. And step back from the word.
So, are you knowledgeable about magical beasts?
You will see. He just goes on again. He doesn't answer your question, even though there's only 2 people in there. This is him. He's away now. He's trying to rile up a crowd now that you've turned up. You will see a collection of magical beasties, and I am Wee Jimmy. And he taps the barrel with his cane. You will see beasties from the north. You will see beasties from the south. You will see beasties from the easties, and you will see beasties from the west. I am Wee Jimmy, and my beasties are the best. And he looks down and he just sees that you're the only 2 people still there. And he's like, oh.
Well, it may interest you to know that we are actually going to be hunting a possibly magical beast.
Oh? Really?
Yes. Could we talk to you about it?
He strokes his Abe Lincoln beard with his other hand. Like a big palm. Stroking it into a point.
It's called chin strap, isn't it?
Yeah, chin strap. Talking to Wee Jimmy about beasties. Yeah, why not?
Very well. We've heard about this great black beast in the jungles far to the south of here. Do you know anything about that?
He sits down on the barrel and his little legs hang over from the side, and he puts his cane across his lap. Ah, a great black beast from the jungles to the south. Could fetch a pretty penny, that one. I don't have one of them.
Have you ever heard of it?
Maybes I haven't. Maybes I haves. He he sort of like rolls his thumb across his 3 forefingers. He's like gesturing for money.
Yeah, I pull out a gold piece and toss it to him. Maybe this will loosen your tongue.
Ah, a gold in the hand unlocks the mind's doors. Yes, the black beastie of the black jungles. I've heard of it. I've been after it for years. It is the most elusive beastie in all of the kingdoms.
What do you know about it?
Well, he does his finger thing again.
That you haven't really told me anything yet.
I've confirmed
feel-
its existence.
Oh, well, we knew it existed, and you actually didn't confirm anything. You just told me you've heard of it. And just so you haven't told us anything that we didn't already know already.
I'm here to make money, friend.
And I've given you money.
Persuasion? Fair enough. He pockets the gold. No one's sure if it's real or myth, because people have been hunting this for years. Dare I say, centuries. Yes, even my great-great-great-great-great-great-granddad was said to have hunted the black beastie of the black jungles. And he never got anywhere near it, despite the amount of times he went into the black jungles. It's said it can turn into the shadows itself, turning into black smoke almost. It has black eyes and black claws, and this black maw of a mouth.
That's basically what we've heard before, and it's good to know. Do you happen to know anything else about it? Anything that would help us or give us a little edge on trying to catch it?
Never turn your back on the shadows. Every hunting party I've ever met, that's what the survivor says. Always one survivor comes back. And he's like getting a bit sullen here. He's like, he's almost getting sad that not that the beast hasn't been caught, but that people die trying to get it. I mean, he likes his beasts, but he doesn't believe people should be putting their lives on the line to get it. If anyone was ever to capture that beast alive, well, and he's perking up, they could put on the greatest magical beastie show in the world.
Well, you seem to have quite a bit of experience with handling these big animals. If someone was to attempt to capture it alive, how do you keep them in check? How do you keep them from attacking you or escaping?
He pops up onto his feet back on top of the barrel, and he's got his cane in his hand, and he gives a little tap on one of the cages behind him. Ting, ting, ting. You'll need one of these first. Strangely enough, that cage doesn't make any sound, and it was the largest of all the cages. You'll need one of them first. Wee Jimmy's magical beastie cages. You'll not find a better magical beastie cage than that in all of Faerun. Nothing can break those bars.
Okay, so how do you get them in the cages?
Well, you need a bit of cunning and a bit of guile, and he does his little finger thing again.
Okay, I'll toss him another gold piece.
Ah, a pleasure. And he pockets it. There's two ways to capture a beast. You use stupidity or cunning. If it's the black beast you're after, though, you will not capture it with stupidity. It is way too clever to fall for the old bait in the cage trap.
So, how do we capture it?
With cunning. You'll have to try and outthink that black beast. You'll have to try and work out its motives, its desires, and use that against it. I get the impression that the black beast is a noble creature. And he's standing there, sort of like tapping the point of his pointy nose with his index finger, as if, and he's looking away in the distance, as if picturing the black beast and how to capture it. And he's sort of like, he's almost lost now in thought. He's like, yes, a noble creature. How to capture such a beastie?
Well, if it is such a noble creature, maybe it shouldn't be captured at all. Maybe it shouldn't be locked up.
But imagine the show you could do with such a creature. Better than what I have on offer here, and I have some great, great magical beasties. One of the cages lets out this sound from it. Yes. And he tries to quiet it down.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be a good show. Maybe it will happen. Maybe it won't. Thank you for your time. Thank you for helping us. And good luck with your show.
Wait. You're not going to capture this beast, are you?
How
I
much
don't
would
know.
you pay?
How much would I pay for you to capture this beast for me? Oh, he's taken back by this. He's like, oh, he wasn't really thinking that. He was just intrigued that another hunting party was going to go there. He's like, oh, I don't know. I'd have to talk to my partners about this. I don't know.
Well, we need an answer now. If you want, we will be leaving in the morning. We already have other people who are interested in the beast and who are willing to pay.
Would you pay for pieces of the beast?
No, I don't pay for dead animals. There's nothing magical about a corpse. He jumps down from the barrel. He lands with a bit of grace, actually. And he sort of like waddles along, though, with the cane. Sort of like a penguin. And he's approaching Armor and Law. And he lifts his cane up and he taps your foot, Law. Would you pay for an uncooked dinner?
Maybe.
Oh. Well, you're the fool of the party then. And he turns to you. Armor. Would you pay for an uncooked dinner?
Probably not.
Exactly. Why would I pay for a dead beast?
Well,
My
everything
show.
needs to be cooked.
So, some people may be interested in the dead beast. So, say we do bring it to you alive, in good condition. How much would you pay?
Well, he's mulling it over. He's thinking about the value of each beast he already has within his collection. And he's just like, I would give you all the magical beasts I already have. Plus, 200 gold, and he's like getting a bit reluctant here. He's like, I don't know if I could do that.
Well, I don't really have much use for magical beasts. And as for the gold, we already have one request to bring back parts of the beast for 400 gold, and it would be much more difficult to bring back the beast alive than just to bring back certain parts. So
He grabs you by the
we would
waist.
need quite a bit more of that than that.
Arma's way too honest to be doing this.
You're damn right.
So with
I'm
his
not trying to deceive.
with his cane in his hand still, he like grabs for your waist and he's like looking at you, pleading. He's like, you can't kill. If you somehow manage to capture this beast, you can't kill it. You cannot kill it.
And why not? Or is being locked up in a cage, being put on show for everyone, better than being put out of its misery? Or
He's-
just being free?
He's taken back by this. No one's ever questioned the morality of having caged magical beasties before. He's like, oh, well, when you put it that way, I'm not too sure. But I look after my magical beasts. I feed them. I teach them tricks. I share their wonders with the world. You can't do any of that if you're dead.
Fair enough. But like I said before, it wouldn't really be worth it to us to bring it back alive, to go through all that trouble, because it would be quite a hassle to attempt to keep it alive, keep it from killing us on the way or escaping all the way from the jungles back here. So if we were to do that, we would need quite a bit of compensation.
Look, I will give you 100 gold right now if you promise me not to kill it. And if you come back with any proof that it's alive and you've seen it and you've survived, I will give you another 100 gold. If you bring it back here, captured in a cave. He's mulling this over. He's like the risk reward going through his mind with this one. And you can see that he's sort of like clutching at something around his neck. You're not sure if he's like trying to stop his heart from beating as fast, but he's just got a grasp around his chest and neck area. I know where treasures is in a dungeon.
Yes? Well, what kind of treasures?
I can't talk about it in the open market.
Can we meet you somewhere?
Yeah, sure, why not? Meet me at meet me there. Meet me at the Field of Triumph, the arena. People are too focused on the battle to listen in to stupid talk about beasts or a dungeon. Meet me there, 5 o'clock, during the main event. He's getting a bit panicky now, a bit uneasy.
Well, I don't know if I can make a promise to not kill the beast. We don't know much about it, and we've already agreed to kill it. So I don't think I can make that promise to you. But I don't know what will happen, and maybe I'm sorry, I just don't know. But we will meet you there and discuss this with you further, and our partners will be able to learn more about it and talk to you as well.
Okay. Sort of like lets go of his grasp around his chest and neck area. Okay. And like he switches back onto performance mode. We Jimmy and his magical beasties would be honoured if you could bring that back for me. I have the greatest magical beasties. And in fact, and I'll let you in on a secret. And he leans a little bit closer and gives a wink. I have a special magical beastie being delivered this morning. And it should be on its way from the dock ward. Oh, it is such a magical beast. Such a magical beast. And he mouths the words, Owl Beast.
I don't know what that is. I don't believe I've ever seen one of those. Well, good luck with your show. Oh, well, one more thing. Your cages, they seem rather large, and I don't know if we could transport them. How do you have a way of transporting extra cages that isn't too much of a hassle?
Well, they do come in a flat pack.
Are those packs pretty heavy?
Well, not if you've got a team of people to carry them around.
So it'd take multiple people to carry it? Well, how much do you usually sell a cage for?
I've never sold one, to be honest.
Well, how about this? Instead of giving us the 100 gold to promise not to kill the beast, what about having one of your cages delivered to Captain Mode's ship and in the dock ward? And that way, if we are able to capture it, we will be able to bring it back to you, and then we can make it in our deal. And if we cannot capture it, then we will just return the cage to you.
He spits on his hand and holds it out for a handshake. That sounds fair.
And I reach out and shake his hand and say, I can't promise. I don't know what will happen, but if we do capture it, we'll bring it to you.
He has the biggest smile on his face at the prospect of having the black beast of the black jungle within his magical beastie collection.
And I shake his hand. I look forward to talking to you further later on tonight.
One more thing. What are your names?
My name is Armalucius. As you can tell, I'm sure I'm from the monastery just to the west of here.
He doesn't really have any real idea. Even though the monastery's just like up the road, he's not from Waterdeep. He only ever really cares about the market area. But he's like, Armor? And your name? What a strange name.
I
Make
think
a
I
name,
should
make a name.
lie. Sarah.
Armor and Sarah. And he pulls out like a little notepad and this quill. And he doesn't dip it in any ink, but somehow when he writes, ink is coming out of the quill. And he writes, Armor, Sarah, 5 o'clock, Field of Triumph, Cage, Captain Mode, Black Beastie, alive? Question mark. And he waddles back off to his magical beastie stall and props himself back on his 6-foot barrel, ready to rile up the crowd and try and get some interest in these magical beasties.
I turn to Laura and say, "Why didn't you tell him your name? Why did you lie?"
There's people looking for me. I've been blamed for something I didn't do.
Huh, very well. Well, your business is your business. Come, let's find the others.
Okay.
Okay, so it takes like several minutes as you walk, not even several minutes, as you walk through the market, you sort of like bump into each other. Everyone's there apart from Zavargo. Zavargo, what are you doing?
Still eating. He kind of meanders up to all of them. He sees them off in the crowd because he's taller than everybody for the most part. And he sees them and walks up to them with his arms full of food and a chunk of meat in his mouth. Were you guys hungry at all? Did you want to eat
Excuse me?
it?
Hang on. Just finish your meal. Finish what you're eating, and then we can talk.
I assume that Zavargo has one arm filled so to the brim where he cannot really use it for anything else than just holding up the food,
Yes.
and he has food in his other hand.
Yes.
I'm gonna grab a small piece of meat.
Okay.
This reminds me of an ancient parable, which the moral of the story is basically never grab meat out of a dragonborn's hand.
I'm grabbing a small bite, and it's I'm not gonna hold it for long. It goes straight in my mouth, and I just swallow it straight away.
Thank you, my mouth was full. I was asking if anybody wanted something to eat.
Oh, well, yes, now that you mention it, I am rather hungry. It's been quite a while since our breakfast.
Good. And he throws a piece of meat at you.
I try to catch it with my hands.
Oh, not with your mouth like a seal?
No. Some of us in the party are civilized, so.
I wouldn't know who those are, but some are.
That's fine, you catch it. You don't have to do dexterity or
I
anything.
catch it and just slowly start eating it, and then I'll after I'm done, I'll inform the others about Jimmy and our discussion and our agreement to meet with him later.
At the arena, huh?
Yes, I figured we'll be going there anyway later on tonight.
Yes.
Might as well find out more.
Don't worry, Zavargo. You can follow the games while we discuss our arrangement.
You guys discuss whatever you want. Yeah, I'm going to be watching.
Okay, as you're discussing, what's going on, you're actually standing next to a stall that's selling fishing equipment because, why not? And there's a group of fishermen around there that are discussing the fabled Balhara bass, the biggest fish in Waterdeep Harbour, and how they're going to catch it. Because as part of today's celebration, there is the Great Sea Bounty Challenge, which is a timed event where people compete to bring home the biggest catch of the day. Zavargo, you know all this, and you tell the party. You've spent a year and a half here. You've seen at least one of these festivals before. The winner is proclaimed the Waterdeep Sea Bounty Champion for a year, a title which grants the winner a free food and drink during the 2 nights festival. So they're honoured as the Great Sea Bounty Champion, if you like, and they get all the food and drink they can possibly stomach. And it's one of the most prestigious awards recognised by the common folk of the Dock Ward. So they're like the champion of the night. Any bar they go into, it's like, yeah! And the person generally just never lets go of the fish they've caught, and they hold it around. And then, depending on what the person's like, the last bar of the night, they'll cook that fish, and everyone in the bar gets a bit of the fish.
That is a fascinating event.
I'm gonna go up to the fishing stand and talk to the owner, or whoever's standing there, and just say to him, so I'll be going on a long voyage over the ocean. Is that typically a good place where one could fish for a while, where one could catch some good fish? I've never done any fishing in my life, so.
Perception check, please.
All right.
You recognize this man. This is the man who was sort of saved this morning. Not saved, but this is the man that Tarbin was speaking to earlier in the morning about fishing rods, trying to lose Thurn's thugs. He set up his fishing rod store and equipment in the market, and he's looking at you and he's like, "Oh, you're the heroes that defeated Thurn's thugs." He shakes your hand.
Oh, well, I don't know about being heroes. We just did what needed to be done.
Oh, you don't understand. Your names, we don't even know your names, but people are talking about you in the southern part of the dock ward. You stood up to Thurn's thugs and you sent them packing. Those bastards have been running rackets around us for years, taking money from the top of our earnings. Even if we haven't earned, they're taking money from us for, and get this, protection. Oh, wow, the sight of him rolling down the street in that barrel. You don't know how happy everyone is. And he's shaking your hand, and he notices that the rest of the party are behind you as well, and he's like, "Oh, everyone's here. That's fantastic." And he shakes his head, and he's like, okay, to fish in the seas. Well, fishing in the sea is very difficult. You've got the rough waves, the unpredictable elements working against you. You've got the rocking of the boats, and generally the fish out there are huge. I wouldn't recommend it for someone who isn't a seasoned fisherman.
Very well. Thanks for your help. I'm glad we could help you out down in the dock ward. But by the way, my name is Arma Lucius. And what's your name?
He's shaking your hand. He's like, Arma Lucius. Pleasure to meet you, Arma. My name is Rob.
Rob. It's a great name.
It is, isn't it? And he's shaking your hand. And he goes, wait a minute. And he pats the top of your hand. And he turns around and he takes 1, 2, 3 fishing rods. These aren't my greatest fishing rods. I couldn't give those away for free, but they're pretty good, especially if you're all novices. These are way better than you should be having, but I would like you to have these. And he hands you 3 fishing rods, and they're pretty good. They're like, there's 2 different sizes. There's 2 6-foot fishing rods, which are probably for you and Tarbin, and there's a 12-foot fishing rod, which is for Zavargo, or depending on whoever you want to give it to. But you know, there's 2 6-foot fishing rods and 1 12-foot. And he goes, oh, and finally, he turns around, he picks up one of these pre-packed bags, and he gives you that as well. There you go. That's a good starter kit for you. That has bait in there. It has wires. It has new reels. Everything you need for a good fish.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Rob. I really appreciate it, and hopefully we will be able to make use of these rods and catch some fish.
Oh, no, thank you, Arma. Thank you.
I will be sure to try and find you next time we are in this area, and let you know how we've done using your products.
Alright, so you've not fished before?
I have not, never.
Oh, okay. Well, all you do is you put your bait on the hook. You check over your shoulder to make sure no one's there. Make sure there's no obstructions. You cast your fishing rod over your shoulder and you fling with your wrist. You flick your wrist to cast your line out into the water, and then you wait. It is the most peaceful thing you can do with your time. And
Sounds wonderful.
Oh, it is. The more seasoned you'll get, the more in tune with your fishing rod you'll get, and you'll feel the bites vibrate up the wire, and you'll feel it vibrate down the rod into your fingers, and then you'll know you've got a bite.
Ooh, that sounds wonderful.
Oh, it is.
Thank you, Rob.
No, thank you. And he's nodding, and he's so gracious that you've stood up to the thugs in the south of the dock ward.
I'll walk back to the others and say, well, our new friend there's given us some gifts for the voyage. And I'll just show him the fishing poles, and then I'll kind of strap them to my backpack and just keep all 3 with me and put the package in my backpack.
I assume I also recognize the salesman across the walk path or something.
Yes, you would. Yeah.
We're probably standing a bit away, but I'm gonna keep an eye out if I can make eye contact with him.
Yes. Eye contact's me. He's looking over your way because, as far as he's concerned, you're like local heroes.
Right, I'll put one hand on my chest and give a small bow.
he just waves and he's like, yeah, thank you, and he's bowing back like loads of times repeatedly over and over again. And he's nudging the other fishermen and he's telling them who you three are. He doesn't recognize Law because Law wasn't there. Sorry, Law, sorry. But he's telling the fisherman friends who you three are, and he's like, oh, they did this, they stood up the Thurn, and they're looking over your way, and they're looking back, and they're like, really, them three? Oh, they don't look like much, but okay.
Rob, I take it you're keeping all three for now?
Yeah, I'm hanging on to them.
All right.
Okay, so the morning ticks over, and unless you want to do some more, I was just going to do like a jump in time type of thing.
Fine by me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the morning ticks over, and like the market gets busier and busier. More and more people are starting to get there, and the mix of accents changes as more people from outside of Waterdeep arrive, and more stalls arrive, and the smell of the food is mixing in with like the sea air that's coming in off the coast, and it's just like a strangely still day. It's clear blue skies. There's a few white clouds in it. But it generally, it's just like a really, really pleasant spring day. And people are going about their business, the market, and the high road's getting busier and it's getting more paradey as bunting and it's like lanterns are being set up to light up the high road during the night. And it's well past midday. It's starting to get into the afternoon, and you notice that like the flow of people are changing. Most people are heading back down to the dock ward where the Great Sea Bounty Challenge is going to take place, and some people have actually disappeared to prepare their floats for the street parade that's going to happening in the evening. And some people have started to head back towards the Field of Triumph.
Have we seen the owl beast pass by in a cage?
Not yet, and in fact, you notice that wee Jimmy's looking a little bit agitated that it hasn't turned up yet. He's like tapping his cane against the heel of his foot, and he's looking around while trying to rustle in the crowd to come and look at the beasts he does have, which he only uncovers if people pay, and they have to go under the top to see the beast. He's not going to give like a free show.
I see. That man is looking slightly agitated. I hope he's not planning on letting loose the beasts.
I'm sure he wouldn't do that. That doesn't seem like a smart move.
Zavargo, what do you think? Are they, when do the interesting games start at the arena?
Huh? Well, I think this, but
Swallow first.
I think they're supposed to be starting pretty soon.
Do you want to head over there?
If you guys are ready for it. In fact, I'd wager you on a fight or two.
By the looks of it, I think that would be in my favor.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means you haven't won a single bet yet.
I'll win yet. I'll get all my gold back, you hear?
I wish you the best of luck.
Just don't spend it.
I will hold no such promise.
All right, well, let's get going before everything starts filling up.
Very well.
Okay, so you start making your way towards the Field of Triumph, and it cuts to ad breaks. If you just want to take like a quick break and get a drink.
Sure, that'd be great.
Be right back. I'm back. And everybody else is gone.
Didn't completely abandon you.
Good, good. By the way, which languages does Zavargo speak? Common and Draconic, I guess?
Common, Draconic, and Orcish.
And Orcish, okay.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Which languages does Arma speak?
Common, Dwarvish, Giant, and Orcish. Or Orc, whatever it's called.
You guys have like a secret language, huh?
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You and I both speak Orcish.
Oh, awesome. Maybe we can use that to make fun of Tarpon.
Lost, what languages does Lore speak? Okay, I'll put it this way. Just in case you don't want to reveal all of them, I'm assuming that Abyssal is one of them. But does Lore speak and read Elven or Elvish?
No. It looks like just common, infernal, and thieves can't.
Oh, it was Infernal, right? Not Abyssal, right? Okay. Good to know.
What about Tarpon?
Just common and undercommon.
Oh, that's right.
The heck is undercommon?
It's what they speak in Australia.
Yeah. It's basically it's like common, but it's upside down.
I'm not satisfied with either of these responses, but I am at the same time, so I'm not going to delve any further.
It might help if you know that in German it's called Wunderkommen.
It doesn't make it any better than anything else.
Doesn't help at all?
Sounds
All right,
elitist like the Germans.
Sounds elitist like the German. Oh man.
You call me racist? Damn.
Yeah. If you think that the Germans are racist, do you know what the I mean, just like you guys have let's say probably American football or baseball would be one of the biggest sports there, and you call your baseball league the World Championship.
I'm not familiar.
The second largest second largest sport in Germany would be handball. Do you know what the major league for handball in Germany is called? It's
Something
called
really harsh.
It's basically called Bundesliga, which is either, depending on the interpretation, it's either the Citizens League or it's the Peasants League. That's how that's how high and mighty the Germans are.
To be fair, I never said Americans were any better.
No,
What a fascinating conversation.
It's all in character too.
Even better.
At least I know. I mean, Tarbon would find out on the way back to the arena. Tarbon would actually find out what languages you speak. So just in case, in regards to the folklore book he's acquired.
So it's kind of nice that we all have a language that's unique to us.
Yeah, we have a fairly wide spread, but it's also an interesting coincidence that nobody speaks Elvish.
Are these like all exotic or mostly? Oh, I guess no. Never mind.
Any
It's just a
dwarf?
few. Yeah, I speak Dwarven.
Oh. We all
Does Zavargo read?
Not well.
All right.
He read a book once, but he sneezed and the book disappeared.
The book has not been seen since.
He
An
just
expert in
breaks the
shapes.
books.
He's an expert in shapes, colors, and shiny things.
And ale.
Yeah.
Pretty much. He can read the menu. He can read the menu at any restaurant like a pro, but he doesn't go much further than that.
All right.
Okay, so as you make your way towards the field of triumph, you hear like the hooves of horses and the rattling of wheels on cobblestone as it comes up the warrior's way. And people are getting out of the way, and you hear voices shouting for people to get out of the way.
I guess we get out of the way.
Yep.
Yeah, get out of the way.
Move, bitch, get out the way.
Coming through, get out the way! Coming through, get out the way! Magical beast, out of the way! It's like this horse, well, two horses pulling this wagon, and on the wagons there's this large covered, which you're guessing is a cave, because it looks a lot like the caves we Jimmy's already had covered up. Do a perception check.
Could I also use prestidigitation to try to get the tarp, unless it's attached on every single corner, to get it to swing open, just so we can get a better look?
Yeah, sure.
I think I should be able to do slight breezes with it or something. Yeah, instantaneous harmless sensory effects such as shower of sparks, puff of wind, faint musical notes, or an odd color. Odd odor.
It
Yeah.
may not be enough to actually lift up a tarp or canvas.
May not, but I'm gonna try anyway.
Yeah.
Zavargo is probably gonna see through the tarp anyway with that X-ray.
Okay, because Tarbin's done this, you can all have advantage, so you can all use your highest roll.
Thank you.
And Tarbin, you can have inspiration for that, because I like that. It's quite clever.
Oh, thank you.
What am I rolling? Perception?
Yeah, perception.
Okay.
So yes, this wagon cart is being pulled at Warrior's Way, and it's a rickety street. It's been used way too much by horses, and the cobbles are causing the wheels to rattle and crack, and the cart's bouncing around, the cage is bouncing around, and Tarbin causes this wind to blow, and it lifts the cover, the cloth tarp. One side of the cage flaps open, and you can all see inside is this large beast. And Zavargo, you recognize it straight away. You've fought one of these beasts before. It's not an owl beast, it's an owl bear, and it is furious at being captured. And you notice that this cage, it's not a cage, it's like a wooden. It's not strong enough. You know it's not strong enough to hold an owl bear. And you can tell that it's starting to crack. As each jolt the cart takes on the street, the wood splinters and cracks a little bit, and the owl bear knows this as well.
Did you see the beast? What was it?
We're about to have a lot of trouble. You guys ever fought an owl bear before?
I've heard of it, but I've never actually seen one.
I know nothing about it.
You're all about to see one, because things are about to get really bad.
Perhaps you should finish up this food and take out some weaponry.
He drops the food on the floor. He doesn't care
What?
much about it. And pulls out his great axe and starts following the cart.
I look at the others, I shrug, and then I start following Zavargo.
And I'll follow along, just with a hand on my staff, while using it kind of like a walking stick.
So this cart keeps going in over the streets, ricketing around. The horses are going in. Get out of the way, magical beast, magical beast! And it's possible that these guys transporting this beast have got no idea what they're doing, but they've been paid, probably underpaid, to carry it to the market for wee Jimmy's Magical Beast Show. And it goes over like one really large loose cobble, and the whole left side of the cart raises up off the floor and crashes back down, and you just hear this as the rear wheel buckles and splinters away, and the cart crashes to the floor. Sparks are flailing around, and the wooden cage containing the owl beast, the left hand side of it just splinters, and the owl beast just lets out this noise. Roll for initiative.
Are we doing Theater of the Mind, or are you switching maps?
I don't have a map.
Alright.
It's on Warrior's Way. So like
Ow.
you're
Gee.
standing. Oh wow! What an initiative roll!
Damn. Nobody did well. Everything under 10.
So it's just like a long, clear street like that, if you know it. There's no real way to go. There's 2 side streets there, but those side streets are full because people have just flooded into them to get away from the owl beast. It's you 4, the owl beast, the broken cart, and the 2 horses have bolted. And the 2 people who were transporting on the cart, they're like getting to their knees and they're trying to run away. And the owl beast's just, it's in a frenzy. It's looking there and it's looking around. It's been captured. It's been put in this wooden crate and it's ready to go. And it needs to roll for initiative.
Natural 20. It's gonna be natural 20.
Double surprise round.
Oh, hang on, that's not right. I don't. Does it have initiative? How do you do
Sorry.
initiative for beasts on Roll20?
Click the name.
Ah. I'll take the lowest of the rolls. So I rolled 14, but I'll take the 9 because I messed it up. So what we got? We have Law, Tarbin and Armor. Who wants to go first?
I'll let Arma go first.
All right.
Are we are we fighting?
Yeah, we're fighting.
Sorry, I'm like out of it.
Put your lemsip
Okay.
away and be ready to fight.
um.
Yeah, so Law, you're top of the fighting order. This owl beast has pulled itself out of the wooden crate. It's like a owl bear. Sorry, imagine a bear. Put some wings on it,
Like a moonkin from World of Warcraft.
kind of like that, and then give it a big old owl's head and some owl claw talons at the front, and that's what you've got.
Is he facing me or is he looking away from me?
He isn't facing you yet. He's just pulled himself out of the wooden crate.
Can I work my way to be so that I'll be behind him in any way?
Sure, do a
Or
stealth
out
check.
of his sight? Mhm.
I'll say with advantage because he isn't paying you any attention, and he's a bit dazed. So that's a 21. Yep, you can crawl. You can get right up behind it.
Okay. I have a sneak attack thing, but I have no idea how to make it work.
The best way I figured out is if they can't see you, you get it. Or if you have an ally right next to the person who's kind of distracting them and then they wouldn't be aware of you, then
Yeah.
you'd get that extra damage.
That's exactly how I'm doing that as well.
Okay,
But
so I
it's just when you if you hit with an attack and one of those conditions are met, you get to add on that damage.
Okay. So just attack him? I feel kind of bad just attacking him.
Oh, this is like a feral wild beast that's being caged up and it's angry.
Okay.
It will attack you if you don't attack it.
If you feel bad now, just wait until Jimmy finds out that we killed his prime beast.
Okay, I'll attack him.
Oh, we'll have to talk to Jimmy about what kind of cages he's given us.
Yeah, and you don't have to be a divination wizard to see that the meeting at the arena is going to be awkward.
Or do I roll separately for a sneak attack instead of clicking the weapon?
No, that's right. And then if it hits, then you would roll your sneak attack damage.
Okay, okay.
If it's the
Okay,
time when you can use
so
it.
you've creeped up on the owlbear and you've sort of like managed to stealthily do it. He hasn't noticed you. You've got through the the wooden debris of the cage, and you've managed to get in behind it. But you've missed with your attack.
Shit.
If she was stealth, it would be advantage, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes, sorry, yep, sure, yeah, you've hit with your attack. Roll for damage.
Okay, so I roll the d6 then.
You can click the daggers thing. It should be there.
Click the word daggers in the chat, and that will roll the
Oh, okay.
the
Okay.
damage for the actual dagger, and then you can do the d6 roll for your sneak attack damage.
Okay. So slash roll 1d6.
All right.
So you get like, this surprise attack on it, and your daggers sort of just slice down the side of it, and you get like this fur. You cut off like a slice of fur, and you've mainly hit fat more than anything else, but you've surprised it. You've cut along its flank. Next is the owl beast. Do you have disengage or anything yet?
She should have that now.
Me?
Yeah, you should be able to disengage and move away.
Where would I see that? The book?
You have the cunning action ability, which lets you dash, disengage, or hide. Do any of those as a bonus action on your turn.
Okay, I should probably disengage then.
Yeah, you probably don't want to walk up to an owlbear, stab it, and then remain there.
And then go, hello! Yeah, okay, so what do I have to do for that? Or nothing? Or just say it?
Yeah, you just say you're gonna do it and then move away.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna move away from him.
Okay. Are you moving so you're hiding?
Yeah.
She can either disengage or hide. She can't do both.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
okay. I'll just disengage then.
Okay. The owlbear, taken by surprise, turns around and I'm gonna roll. Isn't too sure where that attack came from, to be honest.
It's like Skyrim.
Yeah, he was just, whoa, what's going on? He isn't sure if,
Must
If-
have been my imagination.
yeah,
Must be mine.
he isn't too sure if perhaps the debris from the wooden crate has scratched him, but he spun around and he doesn't see what's attacked him. Next up is Armor.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna hold up my staff and attempt to. I don't know. I'm still learning how to use this, so I'm going to attempt to kind of try to blind him with the staff. See if I can. Should just make the gem in the middle shine bright. So we'll see what happens. No, that's just the torch-like thing. So my staff. Wait, let me read it. Fuck.
Oh yeah, your magic staff, that's right.
Yeah.
With
Shed
the
bright
light
lights.
of Lathander.
Yeah, it just sheds bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for additional 30 feet. That's what I was trying to do. So now my staff is shining, and I'm just gonna kind of move close to the owlbear and hold it up, just to try to distract it.
You move towards the owlbear. You're like this beacon of light. You're like a walking sort of lighthouse, if you like. Walking down the street. It's the afternoon. It's quite bright already, but this light's brighter than daylight, and yeah, it does get the owlbear's attention. Next up is Tobin.
I assume there's a fair amount of people around.
They've all ran away down the side streets. As soon as they saw people shouting for get out of the way, they got out of the way, and one of the crates smashed, and an owl bear came out. Bang! They scarpered. They ran. The two the two transporters, they're scrambling to get away, and they're heading in your direction to hide behind you.
All right. In that case, if there's no need to warn people and they're already running, then I'll just take out my sling, create some magic pebbles, and fire away.
Okay, rolled hit.
That would be a 17.
You hit.
That's 5 damage.
So you fling your magic pebble, and it like bounces off the skull of the owlbear, and it shakes its head. It lets out a noise.
All right. I'm just gonna make sure that if the owlbear, for some strange reason, makes a run for me, I'll position myself so it has to go through armor.
Okay.
And
Through the walking
and
lighthouse.
I'm gonna tell Zavargo that your turn. That's my turn.
Go Zavargo.
It's about time. And the first thing he does is he goes into a rage and starts charging up to it. And he's going to go ahead and do a reckless attack on this turn.
Oh shit.
Remind me about rage. Can you use that once a day, or as many times as you like?
I've got 2 rages per day.
Okay, that's your second one. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I got you covered.
You hit. Feel free to RP your attack.
Runs up. And the very first thing that he does with his charge is he tries to hit it right in the back of the head to try to knock it out and try to do something to it, to just throw it off kilter, do something.
Okay, so you're in a rage. You're snarling. Your teeth are right together. The hands are wrapped tight around your great axe, and you're running towards this owlbear. And you swing your great axe down right into the back of its skull. But this is a thick skull. This is an owlbear skull, and your axe sort of like slices through thick layers of fat and meat and muscle, and it slices it through, and the owlbear lets out a great and you can tell that this thing's getting really angry now. Next, Law.
I will. How far away am I from him?
Oh, you're like 10 foot.
Okay. Is that too close to use my bow?
I don't think it is actually. I think. Is it? No.
Should be fine.
Okay, I'll use my bow. Okay. Short bow.
You hit?
Yay! Oh.
And the sneak attack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he's distracted. He's looking at Tarbin.
Wow.
No, he's looking at
armor.
Zavargo.
Armor, sorry.
Oh yeah,
Hey!
not bad.
So you see Zavargo raging towards this owlbear, and you see him slice through, and it hits through like the thick scruff of the neck of the owlbear, and his axe sort of slices it through. The blood flies away to the side, and you pull out your short bow, and you pull back, and you knock an arrow, and you fly it, and your arrow flies into the back of the owlbear's neck as well, almost into the wound that Zavargo has made, and it just goes. It doesn't make any noise. It just lodges into the thick nape of the neck, and it's the owlbear's go. And he's getting pounded from all sides. He isn't sure where to look. He's just letting out these really aggressive noises, and he's looking at the light blasting out of Armor's staff, and he just charges at Armor. And he just like goes and he goes and he goes, and as he goes, Zavargo, you can get a swing on him if you like.
You're not getting away from me that easy!
Oh, that just
Nice. And as it charges forward, Zavargo, you get a hit on this owlbear, and you slash at its rear, and you actually like chop off, like a bit similar to the other day when you chopped off a slice of a guy's arm like a rasher of bacon. You chop off a slash, a good old, if you like, a flank of owlbear hide. But it doesn't stop it from charging. It's so enraged right now. It's just running and running right at Armor. and it lashes out with its beak and its claws.
Misses. And that hits.
And you're unconscious.
Yes, I am unconscious.
And it just slashes out with its beak. It's like pecks at you, and it can't quite get a good judge of depth on it because the light's blinding its eyes. So it lashes out with its right claw blindly, and it gets you right across the midsection. And it's a solid hit, and it actually swipes and knocks you flying sideways, causing your staff to fall out of your hands as well. Next up is Tarbin.
We'll have to make a
it's-
death save.
Death saving throw.
Oh
from
yeah, sorry,
Armor.
Armor. Do your saving throw first. Tarbin, it's your go.
Does it look like the owlbear is gonna keep going, or is he gonna? Is he looking around towards Zavargo?
Right now he's sort of just like looking for his next target. He's just swiped away at the bright
Alright.
light that was getting his attention.
Just wanted to make sure it doesn't look like Armor's gonna be his next meal. I'm gonna start swinging the next pebble, but I'm gonna hold my action until he runs to Zavargo, or if he runs at me, as soon as he attacks anybody else, I'm gonna attack him.
Okay. Next is Zavargo.
You stupid owlbear! How dare you! He runs up. He's charging. He's mad. He's over this stupid thing. And he's going to slash straight at the spine and try to take this thing down. Which is a reckless attack again, by the way. Which doesn't matter. Oh, nice.
Nice.
Max damage. Almost.
You like sprint towards the owlbear. It doesn't know you're coming at it, and you, with all your momentum of your charge, you swing your great axe behind you, and then you like loop it over your shoulder, and as if you're going to chop wood, you know, like split a wood log into two. You double hand slam your great axe into the spine of the owlbear, and it lets out this piercing screech as it's like its rear end is almost pinned to the floor with the power that you swing down with your axe. It's a bit sluggish actually to pick its rear back up off the floor. Next, Law.
I'm gonna use my bow again.
Okay.
Boop. Is that a miss?
That would probably be a minute.
Yes, that's a miss. Your
Damn it!
your arrow flies, and it would have hit if Zavargo hadn't slammed his axe and pinned the rear end of the beast to the floor nearly. So the arrow like flies over where the rear of the owlbear was. Next is the owlbear. It spins around to see Zavargo.
As he's going to attack, that's probably my trigger.
Yep, go on then.
There we go.
Nice, that's a hit. So as soon as you see this owlbear twitch and turn around, you're swinging your sling around, and pebble flies out of the swing, and it clocks the owlbear right in the side of the head. It nearly gets him in the eye, and you can see that it's hit with such force that its head, even despite like all the neck muscles it has, it's enough force to jolt the head to the side.
Finish him off.
The owlbear opens its beak and lunges for Zavargo.
With advantage.
What's your armor class?
13?
Ooh, it misses. The jolt from the pebble, it's dazed it. It snaps it with its beak, and you can feel like the snap just right in front of your face. You can smell its foul breath, and it lashes out with its claws.
Oh. So I take half of that because I'm in my rage.
Yes.
And it gets rounded up, right?
Rounded down.
Yeah, round it down.
Okay, so I take 8 damage. It's no bueno.
So its foul breath still hanging in your nostrils, and it slices out with its claws again, and it hits you across the chest area, leaving talon scratches across your chest. Next is armor.
Death saving throw.
Yay!
Success.
Tarbin.
The last of these pebbles, I guess.
Hey.
You hit.
6 damage.
And you fling this pebble again, and it hits the owl bear right in the eye, and it lets out another screech. This one just sounds like it's gargling. It's got like blood somehow curdling up in its throat, and it sounds like it's on its last legs.
All right. I'm gonna inspire lore for this one. So, lore, let go of the arrow. You can do this.
Okay.
Roll a d6 for the inspiration, so you can add that to your attack.
Okay. 1d6.
Is that right now, or is that just when she?
No,
Okay.
that'll be during her go. It's not your go yet, Law.
Oh, okay.
It's actually Zavargo's go.
Oh, true.
Ignore all that then.
Is it? Am I crazy?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
up, Zavargo.
All right, we'll go with that. All right. Currently, what is behind the owl bear? Like, if Zavargo is looking at the owl bear, what is behind the owl bear?
Behind the owlbear would be Armor's prone body, like almost dying body, with a great big gash across its stomach, and he's staff on his floor, and Tarbin.
Okay, so not a smart idea to use fire breath. All right.
Armor might be out of the radius, but Tarbin definitely would be.
No, I'll be nice.
As long as you're outside a cave, it's probably a bad idea.
All right. Then I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity, and I'm actually going to use my axe and hopefully deal the finishing blow straight to his face with a reckless attack. Like straight dead center of his eyes.
All right, go for it.
Oh,
Roll for damage.
Yes.
You swing down with your axe, and you hit it dead center in the skull. And your axe you hear it, the way the skull goes, as if you've like cracked open this really thick egg, followed by it as it lodges into something soft underneath. And you see the owlbear's eyes. As much as an owl's eye can go, it sort of like opens up, and you can just see right into the black abyss within the owl's eyes. Its beak opens up, and its tongue, rigid, sort of like jolts out before it goes loose and flops out the side of its beak. And with a defeated, gurgled, this owlbear just falls dead on the floor.
Well done. Lost, you can use the inspiration die in case you need to make a check or attack roll for the next 10 minutes. So
Okay.
by the time we get to the arena, it's gonna expire.
Yeah. So your axe is stuck in the skull of this owlbear that's now dead in the middle of the street. Armor is needn't stabilized. He's like propped up. The body is like prone against one of the buildings. The two animal handlers are sort of like they're stood behind you now, Armor.
I'm gonna walk up to Arma and use my last spell slot to do cure wounds on him.
That would take him a 1 HP, wouldn't it?
No, cure wounds would actually be a 1d8 plus my spellcasting modifier.
Can you? Okay. Yep. Sure.
There we go.
All right.
All right.
As I wake up and I just look up and see Tarbin standing over me. Oh, what
Welcome back.
happened?
You had a slight accident.
Yeah, I had a vision. Something was telling me it's not my time yet, and I still have work to be done. Man, thank you for bringing me back. Thank you for waking me up.
No worries.
All right, guys, what do you want to do with this stupid owlbear?
Well, I assume this is what Jimmy was talking about, what he was trying to bring to a stand. I
Who's
don't know
Jimmy?
if we should. Jimmy is that little guy I was talking to at the market who wants us to try and capture the black beast. But if the rest of his cages are like cage, then I don't think we will be able to have a deal, and we may have to. We'll have to have a talk with Jimmy. I'll have a few words for him.
Fair enough.
But it's a long way till we get to the Field of Triumph. Maybe we should. I don't know what we should do with this beast.
The people who are in the side streets have came out and they've sort of like formed this, just like this natural crowd around you now, and they some are cheering, some are clapping, some are like looking at the owl bear, and some are brave enough to try and like poke it, and there's like this celebration that's happening. So people have never really seen anything like this before, and almost humorously the City Watch have turned up late, and they're like, oh whoa, hang on, and they're all forming at the top of Bazaar Street looking down at what's going on, and you just see that this little halfling pushes his way through the legs of the City Watch, and it's wee Jimmy.
Can I walk up to the owlbear and just yank out maybe half a dozen, actually make that 8? I guess they have feathers.
It's like a bear fur, and its head has feathers.
So if I yank out 8 feathers and then I start handing them out to nearby kids.
Yeah, sure, do that. I like it.
I'll keep one for myself, but I'll hand out the rest to the kids that look the most eager about this.
And like as you do this, the kids are like, "Whoa!" Some people are putting it, some of them are putting it behind their ears. Some of them are holding on to it, pretending it's Zavargo's axe, and they're like really like you've won over the crowd here. They're really cheering now.
I'm gonna walk over to pick up my staff and kind of try and put out the light.
Okay.
And can Zavargo chop off 3 of the owlbear's claws and keep?
Ooh.
And keep them.
Keep them. Yep.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, you do that with ease. This isn't a moving target anymore. Your axe is really, it just seems to flow through your hands right now. You're full of battle pride. And you chop off 3 claws and you keep them. You pocket them like that. And some of the kids are asking for claws. They're like, "Oh, I want one too. I want one too."
I'll chop
I'm
off a
afraid.
couple extra and hand them out.
How many claws does it have? Oh, yeah, claws, right. It has like 20, but I thought you meant paws at first. Like 3, yeah, and they want some too. Wait, what?
Figured
spider
it's got
owlbear.
5 claws per paw. I only wanted 3.
Sure.
Okay, so as you're doing that, like wee Jimmy's making his way forward, and he's like, "Oh, my owl beast, my magical beast."
I walk up to him and I say, are these the kind of cages that you're gonna give to us, that you want us to try and capture the black beast with?
No.
If it's anything like this, I can't. I'm not even gonna try. That thing just cracked right under this owl bear that you said you were bringing in. It was a huge danger to the people around here. You really need to be more careful if you'll be transporting these magical beasts through the city.
He's shaking his head. He's like, "No, no, no. These are just temporary wooden ones. No, my cages have got the greatest dwarven steel bars across them. They are handcrafted by myself, a gnome, and a dwarven blacksmith."
Can I do an insight check on that?
Yeah, sure, do it. You believe he's telling the truth. He was going to go on and say that the bars are magically blessed by a wizard of the Highlands, but you know he was lying about that. But you believe he's probably telling the truth about the crate that owlbear was in isn't the one he's going to try and sell you.
I'm gonna say to him, well, that elbow over there, how valuable is it?
Now that it's dead.
Exactly. And if you had it in a good cage and not in this piece of junk that it was in, then you would still be able to make money from it. So maybe you should think about the cages you're using next time and not endanger people.
I know, but they're so valuable to make. I can't afford to have them just lying around to transport.
Then you can't afford to bring magic beasts into the city where they could harm people.
He looks really downtrodden now. Again, this isn't something he's ever thought about before. He's just so preoccupied about his magical beasts and putting on a show. He forgot to do the health and safety check, the risk assessment, he forgot about to do all that crap. And he's like, you're right.
What are the guards doing?
The City Watch sort of like are just watching what's going on. A few of them are walking over to, like, 2 of the bravest ones are walking over towards where the owlbear are, and some of them are trying to get the crowd to move away. They're not really enjoying that the crowd are cheering for you.
But they're not holding Jimmy responsible for this?
They're actually listening and watching what's going on before they apprehend or act.
All right, Tarwa's going to keep an eye out to see what the City Watch is going to do.
Okay.
And Zavargo, in the meantime, is going to go ahead and pick up his food that he dropped on the floor and start eating it again.
And I'm going to turn back to Jimmy and say, now, sure, you never intended to have any of these magical beasts escape or to have any harm come to any of these people. I learned that from our conversation earlier. However, you just need to be more careful, and I'll need your promise that you will be more careful in the future and that you won't use these weak cages.
As you're saying that, a hand goes down and clasps wee Jimmy on the shoulder, and it's the hand of the City Watch guard captain.
If they're going to glass Jimmy, I'm not gonna stop them. I just want to let them know that I just need a second with Jimmy.
The guard captain turns to you and he's like, "And you are who?"
I am the Tarbanolbog, but just one small moment. I'm gonna lean in and just whisper, Jimmy, I might get you out of this, but that will cost you 50 gold.
Before wee Jimmy can even answer, the city guardman's just like, don't talk to the prisoner. And he pulls wee Jimmy away from you.
I'm gonna see if Jimmy wants to say something. I mean, if he shouts anything, then I'm gonna do something. Otherwise, I'm just gonna wave.
I'll wait for that too. I'll see if Jimmy says anything, and then I'm gonna speak up.
Okay. The city guard captain is like, I've been listening to what you've been saying. If you're responsible for this mess, you're coming with us. Wee Jimmy looks up at you guys and he's like, please.
And
Now,
if And I'm just gonna just a moment, Captain, just a moment. And I'm gonna just look inquisitively at Jimmy and to see if he agrees to my proposal. I just want to make sure that he actually agrees to. Yeah, he agrees to it. Okay.
He's nodding frantically. He's just like, yes.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start addressing the entire audience. This fine demonstration of security and animal handling was brought to you by Jimmy, the wee Jimmy. He has a collection of exotic animals up in the far corner of the market, and you can visit and pay to look at them. Please, go look at the most exotic beasts you have ever seen in Waterdeep at wee Jimmy's place. And then I explained to the guard that it was merely a demonstration of security. These people were never in real harm.
Okay, I'm going to make you do 2 checks here.
Sure.
In my mind, the way I saw that was, as you were addressing the crowd, it was like a performance sort of mimicking how wee Jimmy would have done it, like riling up the crowd like a ringmaster type of thing.
Mm.
But speaking to the city guard was more of like a persuasion thing. So performance check for the crowd and a persuasion check for the city guard.
I'm going to suggest a deception check for the guards.
Oh, sorry, yeah, deception check.
Nice.
The crowd, who are already on your side after seeing that amazing act anyway, are already cheering. They're like hanging on your every word, and as you're riling them up, they're all cheering and they're all shouting, and some of them have already like left to go and see the rest of these magical beasts. Some of them are hanging around wee Jimmy now, and the city guard are like, whoa, 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 hang on, because they want to see wee Jimmy, they want to speak to him. Suddenly now he's part of your group, and he feels like he should be part of like the heroes that have just seen this amazing animal handling. Some are around Zavargo, and they're like, whoa, whoa. And the city watch, they're just like, oh. And the captain turns to you and goes, oh, I'm terribly sorry. I must have missed the memo about that. He
That's
looks
quite understandable. No worries.
He lets go of Jimmy, and he's like, he just like clicks his fingers to the rest of the watch and tells them to leave. And he's like, I trust I can leave you to clear up the mess as well.
You may take the owl beast. And I put my hand on my chest and I give him a slight bow.
Oh, okay, of course. And he orders the city watch guys to go over towards the owl beast, and they're kind of just looking at each other, shrugging. It's like, well, what the hell do we do with this?
As they walk past me, I'm just gonna tell one or two of them just quietly, it makes for a very fine stew.
And they nod at each other, and like they're suddenly like, yeah. A few of them like give each other little fist bumps and little forearm check smashes between each other. They're like, we're gonna eat well tonight, lads.
Yeah, but then I guess we'll just wait for the guards to move along a bit and make sure that Jimmy doesn't go anywhere.
No, wee Jimmy's staying next to you now, and the city watch is sort of handling the owlbear. They're sort of trying to roll it around, and some have went away to get a horse and a cart to put it on, and they're preoccupied with that. The crowd have dispersed. Some of them are still hanging around you because like now you're hero figures to them, a bit like you were in the South Dock Ward. Others have went to wee Jimmy's show, which currently has no one running it, and others are just like, wow, buzzing, and they're walking around talking to each other about what they've just seen as they head off to what else they need to do.
Well, if the city guard is busy and not paying attention to us, then I'm gonna ask Jimmy. So perhaps we should conclude our business.
Oh yeah, 50 gold. Yeah. He sort of like pats his pockets in a suggestion that he has no money on him right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Should I go get the guards?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, none of that. And he sighs. And he clutches at his chest again, and he reaches inside his shirt and pulls out a necklace which has like a little locket on it. And he takes it off, and he goes, believe me when I say this is just as good as 50 gold. And he puts it in your hand. Like he forcibly puts it in your hand, and his hand's on top of your open palm. And for a while, it just stays there, like he doesn't want to really let go of it. And then he lets go.
Could I check just to make sure? I mean, could I see if it's magical before he lets it go?
Yeah, sure. I'll kind of check. You get a sense that it's not like a huge magical item, but there is something magic about it. Like, it's not, if you were to put it in like a spectrum, it's not like lighting up the world with magic, but there is like a weave of magic around it. Not bad magic.
How's my what's it called when I guess the value of something?
Oh, that would be
Appraisal, I guess. I mean, would I know
intelligence
anything
check.
about? Sure, okay. I want to see how badly he's going to try to trick me now. Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
Like, as he moves his hand up, and you can see what it is. It's like this small, not small, like it looks quite large in his hand, but now that it's in your hand, it's probably about the size of your palm. Maybe it's a little bit smaller. It's a circular shape. It's metal, but it has like a metal latch on it as well, and there's a gold chain going around it. And you're looking at that, and it doesn't look overly valuable at first sight.
So, by my estimation, it would not be worth 50 gold.
Yeah. I mean, I know you rolled low on the intelligence thing, but you just looking at it, you're probably thinking it might be worth 30, 40 gold, but not the full 50.
And I'm gonna look at him sternly and go, "This is a good start, but keep going."
And he's like a bit flabbergasted. He's like, if you open that and utter the words, "Find me," and he just like leaves a trail. It says, you could say treasure, you could say water, food. It will direct you to what you desire. How do you think I found all these magical beasts?
Very well. Fine, I'll take it. I'll accept it and let him be on his way.
I'd like to pull him aside or talk to him before he leaves. Just lean in close and say, "Now, I don't think you mean to hurt anybody with these beasts. You just want to provide a good show and make some money. However, you have to take better precautions when you're doing this. You have to be more careful. If we come back and if I find out that you've done anything to harm people with your performances, then you'll have to answer to me, and you won't like that."
He's like looking at the ground. He's just nodding. I mean, as far as he feels right now, it's like his career's sort of over. I mean, I know people are buzzing about him right now, but without his little trinket, he's got no chance of finding any more magical beasts for his show. So he's probably going to ride the last wave of fame and try and make as much money as he can, unless a certain group of adventurers can bring him the Black Beast of the Black Jungle, which he would gladly trade everything in for.
I don't think he can afford the Black Beast of the Black Jungle.
No, maybe not.
Yeah, probably not.
While he's walking away, I'm just going to check with Arma. So we were supposed to meet him at the arena?
Yes, we were. I don't know if
I don't think that is I don't think that is current anymore.
Yeah, I don't think anything else needs to be discussed.
I'll shout after him. "Jimmy, thank you for your business, but the meeting in the afternoon is cancelled."
Understandable.
All right, we'll go back to the other ones, Laura and the at this point fairly greasy around the mouth, Zavargo.
Okay, so little Jimmy walks away, and you notice that even his waddle isn't there anymore. That was all part of his act and all part of his show, just to add a little bit of character to him. And he walks away back to the market, and people are like cheering him as he goes, but he still looks really sad as he walks towards his stall.
I'm gonna put the trinket around my neck,
Okay.
and I probably need. I'm guessing I need to attune to it before I can actually find out what it does, or actually just spend some time with it to figure out what actually it does.
Yeah, it wouldn't work straight away. It would require some attunement.
Yeah. All right, but I'll keep it around my neck for now.
Okay, and I think we'll find out what that trinket does. Where Captain Mode is in the morning. What is in Hilda's wooden cargo. What has Reginald Featherington been up to? And how will the party fare at sea next time?
All right.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
I was so quiet. I'm miserable today.
It's okay, you're dying.
I was mostly trying not to cough in everybody's ear the whole time.
I just strategically mute my mic.
Laura caught the plague while she was off on her own.
She had a few hours in the merman's delight. She's caught something.
All right, that was fun, guys. I'll be jumping off.
I'll
Yep.
see you guys next time.
See you in the
Yeah, catch us around. Always free to chat.
Yeah.
Cool.
See ya.
Yes. Thank you.